Call 855-GOLD-IRA today. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. Once again, 855-GOLD-IRA.
Breathe in and out. Let relaxation fill your mind, even if you're super stressed and behind on your taxes like me.
Sorry to interrupt.
Who are you?
I'm April from TaxAct. You can let go of tax season stress and elevate to a heightened state of serenity with our free expert help and a maximum refund.
Free help? Waves of calm are washing over me.
Good, because here comes a storm of cash. TaxAct, the help you need for free.
See taxact.com for details.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
The game appeared on a paranormal message board with very simple rules. Get in your car and take a drive. Take a left, then the next possible road on the right, then the next possible left. Repeat process ad infinitum.
There's a hitchhiker on the road. Now you pick him up, you take him where he needs to go, but you do not, under any circumstance, do not talk to him. Ever. I ain't asking you to believe me, but I told you. This street, this is your last chance.
As ridiculous as it might sound, I think my friend may have documented her own disappearance. If you know anyone involved in this story, any of the locations mentioned, anything I can use to get in touch with Alice, please don't hesitate to contact me. Were you in the area on February the 7th of this year? Did you meet or speak with a girl called Alice Sharman? Has anyone heard of the Left-Right game?
The Left-Right Game is a new audio drama from Q-Code.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
KFYR.
Folks, go ahead and advertise with Todd Mitchell on 550 because he definitely drives people through the door. He will drive footprints to your front door. I guarantee it, okay? Because it's true.
Okay. Mitchell in the morning. KFYR. 550, 99.7 at iHeartRadio.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Biden has just announced that Jeff Zients will be his next White House chief of staff. Tensions are high in Memphis as authorities are braced for possible reaction to the release of body cam video of the police encounter, which led to the death of Tyree Nichols.
4 of the 5 officers charged in his murder are now free. Demetrius Haley is the only one who remains in custody on $350,000 bond at the Shelby County Jail this morning.
Fox's Charles Watson. More signs inflation is cooling. The PCE rose in December by the smallest amount in 15 months.
0.1% month over month for the PCE price index. Year over year, a gain of 5%. Now the core number, this excludes 0.3% month over month, 0.3%, and then the core PCE price index year over year in line, 4.4%.
Fox's Charles Tassoni, America's listening to Fox News.
And now from North Dakota's News Authority, Todd Mitchell, KFYR Radio News.
The strong winds will die down. Look for areas of snow today. By the weekend, highs will only be in the single digits above or even below zero. Lows to teens and 20s below and dangerously cold wind chills. Look for that to continue all next week. AccuWeather calling for 20 today, 5 below tonight, only 1 tomorrow, 11 below tomorrow night. Sunday 0, Monday 6, Tuesday 11. The North Dakota Attorney General's Office and Bismarck-based photography studio Glasser Images have settled their lawsuit. Glasser shut down in October 2021 after 16 years. Hundreds of customers and subcontractors filed complaints against the company. Owner Jack Glasser and former employee Jay Shocker. Lawsuits claim they wrongfully financed their personal lives with company funds. North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley announced yesterday a proposed consent judgment in Burleigh County. He asked to ban the company from operating in the state for 15 years, pay more than $800,000 in restitution to impacted customers and subcontractors, and pay a $30,000 civil penalty. Glasser and Shocker breach filed for bankruptcy last August. The money owed for restitution and the penalty not dischargeable in bankruptcy court. A North Dakota House bill placing more requirements on the disposal of wind turbines on its way to the state Senate. House Bill 1090 passed the House 93-0. It requires landfills to get approval from the state before accepting turbine blades. Because of their size, it's difficult to dispose of them. Is a piece of legislation getting twisted?
Jody Plessity here at the state capitol legislature today. I am here with Representative Lori Van Winkle, District 3 Minot Republican. Lori, tell me, what do you think about the national news turning your bill that protects sexes into a bill on litter boxes?
Honestly, I think they're scrambling to avoid addressing the topic at hand. However, need to protect the sexes of male and female. It seems as if the only thing that they can do now is to create a diversion so that people will follow this carrot, miss the real meaning of my bill, which really would allow gender accommodations that will only respect the true two sexes that exist, and that's male and female. I really think it's quite simple. And then a small additional part in my bill was to cover that there will be no accommodations for this delusional ideology that kids can identify as anything other than non-human, which again, quite simple. It's a bill about saying only male and female exist, period. Now, their little rabbit trail about litter boxes is their made-up delusion as well.
Representative Lori Van Winkle, District 3 Minot. I'm Jody Plessity here at the state capitol with legislature today.
North Dakota lawmakers have proposed a bill that would keep private the addresses and phone numbers of criminal defendants before trials, as well as the names of police officers involved in shootings while authorities investigate what happened. Bismarck Senator Sean Cleary introduced Senate Bill 2216 earlier this month, proposed legislation that would make a criminal defendant's address and phone number a confidential record if it is in possession of a correctional facility or staff until after a trial or appeal. Cleary told the Senate Judiciary Committee at a hearing that he would like to expand the legislation to include all government agencies. He plans to offer up an amendment later this week. The bill would also prevent the public release of an officer's name if the officer involved in a shooting or any incident resulting in death or a serious injury until after the investigation into the incident's completed. Cleary said he would craft an amendment to the bill referred to internal investigations, not criminal. The bill would not prevent government agencies from sharing officer names and defendant contact information with other agencies for official government business. The Judiciary Committee not voting on the bill.
This is Gary Emeneth with the legislature today reporting from the Capitol. I'm here with Senator Merrill Pepcorn, Democrat Assistant Leader from the Senate, Fargo. Senator, this session there is a number of things going on with property taxes, and you happen to have a bill you've introduced as well. Can you tell the listeners about that?
I'll tell you right about it right now, but I am going to remind you that I'm a member of the Democratic Nonpartisan League Party here in North Dakota, so we'll continue from there. There are a lot of property tax bills floating around the Senate and the House. I'm on the Finance and Tax Committee, and we're going to hear all of them. The ones that survive the House get to the Senate. Most of them are tied, they're very complicated, tied to mill levies, to school districts, to funding various services, to infrastructure, you name it. And it's a floating vague thing. It's a straight 10% refund to the owner of a property where that property is that owner's primary residence. It's not hooked to any funding, to any school district or anything. This bill will be a direct refund to the property owner. For example, here in Bismarck, I know somebody who owns a $500,000 home, which it's a nice home, but it's not a castle. Yeah. $500,000 sounds like a lot. And on that, he pays nearly $5,000 in property tax. And this bill then will give him a $500 refund on his income tax that he pays. So it'll benefit residents, taxpayers who pay property tax on their primary residence.
And Minot's main intersection will be a four-way stop for now. Minot police say a 43-year-old driver headed northbound struck the eastbound traffic signal at Burdick and Broadway around midday yesterday. The signal struck two other vehicles when it fell. The driver cited for care required. His passenger treated for injuries not believed to be life-threatening. Another light at the same intersection knocked down in a crash in November. A four-way stop is up for now. Colder weather just around the corner. Your KFYR AccuWeather forecast is up next.
It's official. Investing in gold soars as Americans hedge against a sinking stock market, lousy bond returns, raging inflation, and a recession lurking around the corner. Retirement savers are turning to precious metals to protect their money and investments. Call Goldco at 855-GOLD-IRA to see if converting a portion of your savings to gold and silver is right for you. They're offering up to $10,000 in free silver while supplies last when you open a qualifying IRA. Call 855-GOLD-IRA today.
In a world full of mystery, humans are naturally curious. And for every living being on this planet, death is the greatest mystery of all. What is it? Where do our bodies go? What happens to our spirit? Explore perspectives about life and death through culture, science, and art, and come away with a profound new understanding of life's most universal experience when you visit the Field Museum's latest exhibition, Death, Life's Greatest Mystery. Get tickets today.
Spruce up your home with fresh new looks from Ashley. Save big on trending styles for every room of your home. From sofas and sectionals to bedroom sets and accessories, you'll find everything you need to brighten up your home this new year. Plus, get special financing for 12 months. Going on now only at America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Hurry into your local Ashley store or tap the banner to shop and save today. Ashley. See store ashley.com for details.
Feels good to be home.
Republic Bank of Chicago is ready to help you and your business start the year off right. Business checking, loans, and lines of credit, and so much more. Plus, expert bankers who get deals done. This is business banking done right. Right now, this is Republic Bank of Chicago. Visit rbankchicago.com. That's the letter R, bankchicago.com to get started. Republic Bank, member FDIC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. The wind advisory for early this morning. It'll be a cloudy, cold day today, the high at 20. Clouds and cold tonight with the low at 5 below zero. Mainly cloudy, bitter cold day tomorrow, the high only 1. Clouds and frigid tomorrow night with the low at 11 below zero. Cloudy, brisk, very cold day on Sunday with a high near zero. And then for Monday, a frigid day, intervals of clouds and sun. The high on Monday afternoon at just 6. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
8:41 in Bismarck at the moment. The wind is still there, not as much as it was, but don't worry, it'll get cold on its own. Northwest wind 14, gusting to 22. Pressure is rising 29.81. Relative humidity at 74%, dew point 14, cloudy 21. KFYR Radio, your news and weather authority. You're talking the way after 9 o'clock, and I'll be in solo. Daryl's testifying about something or other in the state government. I hope they pay attention to him, because Gary Emmett may pop in with me for a little bit. Senator Kevin Kramer, Talk Radio Town Hall after 10. Meanwhile, Guns in the 701, best podcast on iHeart. I've listened to every single one of them, and I can tell you positively. Wait a minute. Can anybody... So they keep saying, well, make sure you tell everybody who the best podcast is on iHeart. I'm like, well, I haven't listened to all of them, but I've already made my pick, and I'm stopping right at Guns in the 701. Hey, JD, how are you guys this morning?
Really good, Todd. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I don't live in California.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Big Governor Newsom fans there. This Second Amendment is becoming a suicide pact. Well, how are we supposed to defend ourselves? If you get rid of the guns from the legal gun owners, then you're just going to have a bunch of suicidal people left with guns. Come on.
Pretty much, and that's California, you know, the utopia of gun laws. But I got to stick something in there, guys. We tried something new today. We should be live on our channels with you this morning, so through iHeartRadio. So thanks again, Todd.
Hi, channels. Hi, Todd. You know, California, once upon a time, California was like John Wayne. It was the West. And now all of a sudden it's just gone so far off the chart the other way, and nobody would have seen it coming back in that day.
Yeah, it used to be a Republican state. Think about that.
It was.
Yeah, cool. John Wayne, actually, Todd, you'll find this interesting. John Wayne was in a bar drinking, and he was across from Fairchild Aircraft Factory in downtown, I think it was L.A., and he wanted to go over and see what they made. And they're actually, Eugene Stoner was in there just finishing up the first Armalite rifle. John Wayne was one of the first people to ever fire it. They brought him in and he shot it indoors right down downtown LA. And yeah,
you mean one of those assault rifle 15s?
Yep. But so the LA County Sheriff also, Robert Luna, he said California's gun laws aren't working, and I'll just give you a few of the things California has. They red flag laws, universal background checks for purchases, quote, assault weapons ban, firearm registration, a limit on the number of guns you can buy each month, a ban on campus carry, ban on teachers carrying, 10-day waiting period on gun purchases, restriction of firearm sales advertising, background checks for ammo, and a requirement that all ammo be bought from a state-approved gun store. What am I missing here that Gavin Newsom wants? There's only one thing left, and that's what all that's left is one, is to confiscate your guns, even though he claims he doesn't want all your guns.
Yeah.
I look forward to the day when the NRA is obsolete, he says.
Isn't that something?
Why would that be? I mean, if you don't want to have a gun, don't have a gun. That's fine. That's your choice. But I think the second you take law-abiding citizens' guns away, you're going to have a much bigger problem than you have right now.
Well, and here's the thing. He said that while surrounded by four armed guards for his own personal protection, but it's never been
Isn't that
about...
neat how they do that? All that type of people have like the best private security, even though they don't want you to have any security.
That's how it always goes with these people. And it's not about, we just don't want to have one if we don't want one. No, it's about control. They don't want to have one except for the elites like the Newsom Gavin. And they also don't want anybody else to have them because then they have total and complete control. That's how this happens. I mean, take away the Second Amendment, and we have a whole different country.
How is this not different from how socialism works in the first place, right? Only the elite have this stuff. The rest of us are just left fending for ourselves without any tools with which to get through life.
Well, remember what the Emperor of Japan said. He basically said they'll never invade the United States on the ground because there's a gun or a rifle behind every blade of grass. He knew that would be suicide and they'd lose for sure. But yeah.
Well, exactly. And guess what? You're never going to get rid. It's always been hilarious to hear, well, we're going to get rid of all the guns. Really? Who do you think is going to be that last person still sitting with a gun? Somebody that's going to kill you in that process. So good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. We got your pine box ready right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, Newsom figures the rest of the country should follow California on the Second Amendment infringements he's got. I mean, like I said, your own sheriff tells you it's not working. He thinks, I got a kick out of it. Not just the gun, it's the large magazine clips that are unique to America. You missed one word in their space. Hey, Governor, it's magazine assault clips. That's all you people get. There you go.
No matter what it is in life, make sure you put the word assault in there because it scares them that much more, I guess. Guns in the 701 here on KFYR. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure every country in the world has 30-round magazines, so legal or not, they're there. So it's not unique to America.
Well, and that's just it. You can get rid of all of them in the country, and then there's a whole world. And then anybody who really wants one's going to go get one from somewhere else in the world and bring it in. So you've not solved the problem. If you want to solve the problem, solve the problem. That's not solving the problem. And if you can't figure out from California's lack of success, then take a quick peek at Chicago and how that's working out.
Yeah.
Because that gun control, big time. Is it working?
No, not at all. And indeed, Washington, D.C. is just as bad.
Well,
yeah.
But I mean, it's not just the way they're doing gun control that's not working. Gun control's not working. It doesn't work in Cali. It doesn't work in Chi-Town. Ain't working. So that's not. It's been said on this radio station before. What you need is a change of heart if you're going to start changing these kinds of problems. And because you're not just going to take away. And we go back to the whole Cain killed Abel with a rock thing. So just because you got rid of the guns doesn't mean you get rid of anybody killing anybody. Sorry. You make it less efficient, but,
They're not trying hard enough, Todd. He just wants you to come out. He wants everybody to say, tread harder, Daddy. Tread harder. They think more gun control is the answer. And even like I said, the sheriff just said it. He said he wants to look somewhere for different answers. Hey, look up here to North Dakota. Pretty much everybody I know owns a gun. I mean, like we said last week, I think that we should look like Iraq instead of Disney World up here. So I don't know what to tell.
Yeah,
Mayor Newsom there.
Guns in the 701 here on KFYR. Mitchell in the morning here. It's 8:49. So what's Geraldo opening his mouth about again?
I'll let Clay start this one out.
Oh, well, he was on with Sean Hannity, and I forget who the other guy was that he had on. It was a Fox News co-host. Yeah, and he basically said, here's the only kind of gun you guys can use. Right here, he pulls out this old rusty musket, talks about how it's great, and just he runs the ram up and down just in the holder, not even in the barrel. And
musket?
Says, yeah, a musket, a literal musket. And essentially he says, this is the kind you want, not these weapons of war. Huh? Jamie, what do you think about that, weapons of war?
Can you hear me back in 1772? Good grief.
Yeah.
Well.
So not only that, the first thing I thought of, Todd and Clay, is when I saw that, is in 2017 and 18, I think the New York State Legislature banned any rifle above 50 cal. And Hannity said it to me. He goes, I think that's illegal here. I'm serious. And it is. But you know what? Do you think they're going to do anything to Geraldo about it because he's one of their leftist buddies? No.
No. Yeah, that sure looks like a 54 cal muzzleloader to me.
I hope you're a Civil War reenactor or something if that's what you're carrying around. Good grief. Because other than that, I don't get it. Guns of the 701 podcast goes up on the YouTube goes up on Wednesday night. So what have I missed this week? Because I didn't get to catch it yet.
Well, if you didn't catch it, you can definitely hop on iHeart and check us out there. Our podcast uploads pretty much right after the live show. We try to get that up and on the iHeart app and all the other streaming apps that you listen to podcasts. Or you can check out gunsinthe701.com, and we got everything there, including Mitchell in the Morning. We've got those. We sniped those and put them on there, Todd.
You sniped those, huh? Oh, my gosh, I got to check that out. Any sneak preview of what you might be up to this coming Wednesday?
Yeah, go for it, Jamie.
Yeah, well, Senate McCarthy there, not the McCarthy from the House in the Senate, Carolyn McCarthy at Democrats, they're going to introduce another, guess what, Todd? They introduced it, another assault weapons ban. We're rehashing the same thing. And if anybody forgot, it's not Carolyn McCarthy either. Clay, what's her name again? She looks like Dorothy from the witch from the Wizard of Oz.
I don't remember her first name. I call her Tommy McCarthy.
She's the one who said, remember, if she could get all the votes, she'd tell everybody, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn your guns in. We're going to go over that. And Dianne Feinstein, there, I knew it was going to come to me. Di-Fi.
There, yeah, she's the one that introduced it, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, and then we're going to have, of course, we're going to have the Midwest Badass, which we're going to have Clay. We got the monument down there in South Dakota, right?
Crazy Horse.
We're going to be doing Crazy Horse, yep. And, of course, we're going to have, as usual, a happy ending, which is it really is a real happy ending. So now your mind in the gutter thinking happy ending.
And if you haven't watched the live, go check out our happy ending intro.